Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us, and welcome to TI's first concert since 2019. My name is Kelly, and I'm a junior at Amherst College, and I've been a member of TI since my sophomore fall. Terras Irradient, or TI, is a five-college Christian co-ed a cappella group centered at Amherst College, and we seek to share the love of Jesus with our campus through song. Our aim is always more praise than performance, intending to glorify God in all we do. Of course, there's always so much to praise God for, and I'm just going to touch on a couple amazing ways that God has worked through TI in this past year and a half. First, he's continued to give us the means to come together as a group every week to spend time in his word, pray for one another, and grow closer as a community. At first, all virtually, and then even a bit in person this past semester. He has also blessed us with several new members this past semester, and we're so excited that we were able to get to know them a little bit during the semester, and we look forward to continuing to grow closer to them in the future. Also, last month, we came together, virtually, of course, with Christian a cappella groups from 11 different universities across the nation in a virtual benefit concert to raise money for local nonprofits who are doing impactful work for our communities during the COVID pandemic. TI ended up raising over $115 for the Amherst Survival Center. And now for today's concert. Today's concert is really special because it's dedicated to our seniors, David, Donna, Jia, Meredith, Sarah, and Sam, all part of the Amherst class of 2021, and Katie from the Mount Holyoke class of 2020. How this will work. Several of our seniors will be sharing their testimonies and a song to tell us a bit about their walk with God. And lastly, before we start, we would like to give a huge thank you to Sam, who edited all of the videos and the audio for this concert and put together everything that you will see and hear today in our concert. Sam, we wouldn't have been able to have a concert without you and all of your hard work and enthusiasm and support. We are so grateful for everything that you've done. So without further ado, we're going to jump into our first song, Come Thou Fount, brought to you by Jia.
Come thou fount of every blessing, to my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love. Sorrowing I shall be in spirit, till released from flesh and sin. Yet from what I do inherit, hear thy praises I'll begin. Here I raise my Ebenezer, here by thy great help I've come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God. He to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood. How his kindness yet pursues me, mortal tongue can never tell. Closed in flesh till death shall lose me, I cannot proclaim it well. Oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy goodness like a fetter bind my wandering hearts to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, oh, take and seal it for thy courts above. Praise the mountain fixed upon its mount of thy redeeming love.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still. The title of the song I'll be singing for my senior solo is Not in a Hurry. This song first came into my life during the fall of my senior year, when I was paralyzed by indecision in the face of too many options and too little clarity in how to spend my first year post-graduation. It's something I've struggled with my entire life. I spend so much energy looking ahead to the next thing and trying to brace myself for what is to come, making detailed to-do lists, carefully parceling out my time, always striving and fighting to stay one step ahead so I never find myself feeling caught off guard or unprepared, that I lose my ability to simply be present in the here and the now. I can't ever fully enjoy the season I'm in because I live in constant fear of the one to come. But here's the problem with living like that. When you try to take the reins of your own life, hyper-organizing the world around you into neat little boxes and file folders and color-coded calendars so you feel in control and like nothing will come that you won't be ready for, then inevitably, wham, something comes crashing into your life that you never saw coming and knocks the wind right out of you. Sometimes it's the unexpected death of a close relative. Sometimes it's a car accident you blame yourself for. Sometimes it's a global pandemic that turns the world upside down. Sometimes it's the loss of a friend. Every single time one of those things hit me, it was devastating. But although each event in and of itself was challenging, it was made infinitely more so by my stubborn desire to retain control, even when shaken to my core and torn away from the sense of security I clung to so tightly. Each time during college that I found myself teetering on the brink of collapse, I would come running back to God, confused and distraught and weeping at being confronted with my own weakness and inability to weather the storms on my own. I'd make a commitment each time that this time would be the time I'd fully surrender my life into His hands, that I'd finally stop trying to be the one in the driver's seat. But I failed. Again and again, always slipping back into old patterns until a new challenge rocked my confidence and I was confronted with my brokenness and pride, all the time begging for God to speak to me and fretting over my inability to hear His voice. Fast forward to November 2019, when the weight of post-grad decisions had me very near to my breaking point. In the midst of all of it, I found myself in a blessed 8-hour respite from the chaos. 2 dear older sisters came alongside me and gave me space to sit in the pain and the confusion and to be vulnerable together. It felt like time had stopped, like there was no constraint on how long we could sit with each other, sit with the Lord, be in His presence. For the first time in a long, long while, I let myself be truly still. I let myself gaze upon Him and all of that He is in comparison to how small and feeble I am. I let myself know that He is God, sovereign, not just over the universe and all its vastness, but over me too, in every way, both big and small. When the song Not in a Hurry played in the middle of that 8-hour respite, it felt as if God was pressing it firmly upon my heart, as if to say, here, this is my gift to you. Make this your prayer. The song opens with the lyric, Lord, I don't want to rush on ahead in my own strength when you're right here. That was exactly what I had been doing for the past 4 years. But what struck me was the end of the line, when you're right here. The whole time I'd been running ahead on my own, then trying to run back to God. But in that moment, I felt Him saying, hey, You don't have to run anywhere. I'm right here. I'm with you in this moment. I've always been with you, and I'm not going anywhere. It's a process. It's long, it's hard, and it's ongoing. But as the chorus of this song goes, I'm learning. I'm learning to listen, just to rest in your nearness. I'm starting to notice you are speaking. All those times I was begging God to speak to me in my struggle before, wasn't that he wasn't speaking. It was just that I didn't slow down long enough to sit with him and actually make the time to listen, to notice that he was already speaking. I'm going to close out with a short passage from 1 Kings 19, verses 11 through 12. And he said, "Go out and stand on the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind tore the mountains and broke in pieces the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, the sound of a low whisper." When I look back on the past 5 years, in hindsight, I can begin to see the ways he was trying to speak to me in whispers when I was too consumed with my own voice to notice. My prayer through this song, this small offering of worship, is this: let me seek him out in the low whisper. Lord, I don't want to rush on ahead in my own strength when you're right here. Lord, I don't want to rush on ahead in my own strength when you're right here. I'm not in a
Hello, my name is Meredith, and I've been a member of TI since spring semester my freshman year, which is now, I guess, 3 years ago since I was in my first senior solo concert with TI. And it's incredible to think that I'm filling some sort of shoes left behind by those incredible seniors whose testimonies I heard my freshman year. But I'll be sharing a little bit about my relationship with God and growth throughout my time at college and why I've chosen the solo that I decided to sing for you guys today. When I came to college, I was a Christian. I was definitely a Christian. I became a Christian. I went around at the time I turned 15 on a camping trip. But something I definitely was struggling with right when I came into college was a shift from battling a lot of insecurities. I had taken a gap year to just take some time to heal after a very bad concussion junior year of high school, and I'd done some very hard things just to regain some confidence. And I did that, but I think it came at the price of indulging in some pride and false humility. College, oftentimes people talk about as being a time when you to find yourself, to figure out who you are. And when I came into school, I think I was a little bit arrogant inside because I felt like I'd taken time to do that, and I knew who I was and I was going to grow, but I was much better than everyone who didn't know who they were and who were going to make mistakes in the friends they chose and the clubs they chose. And I do think on some level I had a solid sense of who I was, and I think a lot of that had to do with my faith. I wanted to follow God. I was going to find a Christian community, and that was good. But I do think I had a small sense of superiority. Well, and I think I definitely knew of God. I knew about God. Like I read the Bible, I saw him in nature and the beauty of music, but I don't know if I knew him personally very well at that point in time. I think there was definitely a little bit of a disconnect that God was someone that I prayed to and I read my Bible, and then I went about my day, and of course, he existed and I would see him and sometimes the people I saw are like I said, the nature, especially on this campus, it's so pretty. But that's not really the same as having an intimate, connected relationship with him. And I don't think I had that when I came into college. So I had a nice little storm of some distance between God and I, and a sense of sort of some pride that I had a better sense of who I was or what I wanted to do than the people around me. TI actually played a pretty key role in helping shift my perspective in some ways. I think I found my freshman spring semester, I found these seniors who were just so willing to be ridiculously honest and vulnerable about their lives and about their struggles with sin, with figuring out what they're doing in their life in a very God-centered way. And I think I would have said, of course I would make my decisions in a God-centered way, but there was something a little bit different about how they approached them. And I think there's also something different than what I saw in a lot of the people around me at this school, even some of them Christians. And, I saw this in myself too, which was a sense of having false humility in how you accept compliments, how you do your work. There's this fear of losing how good you are at something. And this is what makes grades so important. And when someone tells you you did something well, you say, oh, no, I didn't. And I think this is a really easy trap to fall into, both generally on this campus as college students, but even more so as Christians. I found that there was this very specific trap that I was falling into, which is this idea that, my goal as a Christian is to be reflecting God and His goodness. And somewhere there's a phrase that I must become lesser and He must become more, right? It's not about me, it's about God. But that's really easy to twist into denying gifts He is giving you, or hiding under this false humility and saying, oh, I'm not really good at anything, but secretly taking pride and being like, oh, but I know I am. But actually having that denial doesn't reflect God's glory. To be lesser isn't to have false humility, but true humility, which says, oh yes, thank you. I did you on that presentation. I'm really grateful. God gave me really clear thoughts and He was really guiding me. Right? That's a really different experience, and something that I learned a lot from the upperclassmen in TI really specifically. So the song that I have chosen today was actually my first solo I ever sang with TI that spring of 2018. It's called Because of Who You Are. And the words are very simple. It just says, because of who you are, God, I give you glory. I give you praise. Because of who you are, I'll lift my voice and say, I worship you because of who you are. And then it lists some of the Hebrew names of God and their definitions. And this was such a big mental shift of singing. And we've sung praise songs before, but something about this song that really is not about me at all. It's about God. It's about His goodness, His greatness, and that is why I can sing. That is why I can enjoy singing. I can enjoy making music. There's in TI, our sort of catchphrase, or our mission is praise over performance. And I think that just exemplifies the shift that I was feeling, moving from this sort of sense of false humility that was, hiding some deep pride, to true humility, which just is saying, I want to make good music because it glorifies God, not because it glorifies me. And I can use a voice that He's given me to do that. So I hope you enjoy this song. It's really near and dear to my heart. And actually, back when I first sang this with TI, we tried it out mid-semester at an Easter dinner, and it went okay with me singing the solo. I was so nervous. I had a lot of doubts in my ability to sing. I knew I liked it, but I had a lot of doubts. And then we sang it one time outside. There's a key change at the end, and it didn't go. It was a disaster. And I went to the director at the time, Matthew Chow, and I said, please, I don't think I should be the one doing this solo. You should give it to this other girl. She has perfect pitch. Like, she'll make sure nothing goes wrong. Like, I don't think I'm good enough to do this. And he said something like, this is your solo. Like, of course you're doing it. There's going to be mistakes. That's fine. But this is a song that you sing from your heart, and you should sing from your heart. And so having praise over performance really exemplified for me that way. Was definitely a shift in how I felt about singing, and how I could find so much more joy in singing and in my schoolwork, when rather than keeping these things separate from God and then kind of being like, I'm not that good at anything. I mean, there's plenty of things I'm not good at, evidenced by injuries, but there's this shift to then saying, oh my gosh, God, you are so good. Getting to revel in His goodness and His graciousness, and not just looking at mountains and saying, oh God, you make these beautiful things, like you are so like grand, but also being like, oh, you are so kind to give us this beauty. Like, there's something about Him that He reveals through His desire to show us beauty in music and in nature and in other people, and it is so loving. So, sorry, that was a little rambly, but moral of the story, I hope that this song is somewhat pleasing on the ears. It is hard to put together these songs. Virtually, especially this song is really hard. But I hope it is pleasing to your ears so that you can have a glimpse of the beauty God has created, the heart He's given to all the wonderful people in this group who've made this possible. And that if you remember anything about me, it's that false humility is just a guise for pride. And pride really keeps us from God because we can no longer acknowledge Him or turn anything over to Him, which is what we're supposed to be doing. We shouldn't really be doing anything independently of Him. So this is because of who you are.
Because of who you are, I give you glory. Because of who you are, I give you praise. Because of who you are, I will lift my voice and say, Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Lord, I worship you because of who you
Today we'll be performing for you a song called Shackles, which is a very special song to us and has been part of our repertoire for as long as we've been around. It's a very joyful song just about celebrating freedom in Christ. So we want to encourage you and anyone who is listening to not just dwell in the trials of this world, for they are many and heavy, but also encourage you to celebrate just the joy and gratefulness that we get to be free in God. So I hope you enjoy, I hope you're encouraged, and I hope you get to have a moment of celebration in a year that might feel otherwise. Thank you. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-ding, wow. Ding-a-ding-a-ding, ding-a-ding-a-ding-ding,
Ba-dum-ba-dum-dum. Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you.
Praise you.
You broke the chains, now I can lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you.
In the corners of my mind, I just can't seem to find a reason to believe that I can break free. Cause you see, I have been down for so long, feels like my hope's gone. But as I lift my hands, I understand that I should praise you in my circumstance.
Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you.
Praise you.
You broke the chains, now I can lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you.
Everything that could go wrong, all went wrong at one time. So much pressure fell on me, I thought I was gonna lose my mind. But I know, wanna see if I will hold on through these trials. But I need you to lift this load, cause I can't take it no more.
Shackles off my feet so I can dance.
So I can dance, yeah.
I just wanna praise you.
Just wanna praise you.
Broke the chains, now I can lift my hands.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna praise you.
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna praise you.
Bound in every kind of way.
God's broken every chain,
So let me go right now.
Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you.
Praise
You
you.
broke the chains, now I can lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you. Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you.
Praise
You
you.
broke the chains, now I can lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you.
And that's a wrap for our concert. Thank you to everyone in TI, first of all. It's been such a tough year, and we're so grateful for all of the work and effort you put in that made this possible. Thank you for your willingness to show up and give your all at meetings and rehearsals, even when things were difficult. And of course, thank you seniors for sharing your beautiful voices, vibrant personalities, and constant love, support, and knowledge with us for the past few years. We've been so lucky to have you guys guide us, and we have some really big shoes to fill. TI won't be the same without you guys, and we'll miss you so much. But we're so proud of you guys for graduating, and we're really excited to see what God has in store for you as you enter the next chapters of your lives. And finally, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in today. We really hope that you guys enjoyed our concert, and your presence and support means so much to us. This video will be available on YouTube after this, so feel free to rewatch as many times as you want. Please also check us out on Instagram at TI Acapella, on Facebook, YouTube, and if you're an Amherst student, the Hub. All of these links will be in the description box below. Thank you again for watching, and God bless. Bye.